Sensational crowd here. First quarter, the Blues going to the right. Porter up high, couldn't complete it now. Comes to Wellman from Masiti. Oh, strong mark Murphy. Murphy at half back for Carlton. Transfers it out the centre wing. Koutafidis. Wobbly punt kick. Kernahan and Wellman. Oh, gee, didn't disguise that too well, did he? Umpire Howard says throw it in. He's given him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, Masiti has got the job on Williams, and Silvani's lining up a full forward. Dean Wallace picking him up.
Gee, there's plenty of players around this boundary throw in. Porter wins it from Somerville. Murphy again, second kick on the left into the pocket, out of bounds on the full, too wide. Silvani underneath, and he'll stand the mark. Wallace to take the free kick.
Just noting a good start from the first game of Mark Porter. He won the knockout in the first bounce. He looked very nervous when he first approached the ball, but to get 2 knockouts, and also Koutafidis getting a touch early, maybe an ominous sign for the Essendon side. Koutafidis needing form. A lot of pressure on him during the year. As Wallace kicks the ball long out towards the half-back line. Porter unable to take the mark. Denham. Good handball, but only be intercepted by Bradley. Back to Williams, the 250 gamer. Congratulations to Greg Williams, 250 games and a beautiful, magnificent career. Silvani spins around on the left boot, a wobbly left foot kick, landing in the arms of Pryor.
Looks like he had the job on Koutafidis at the moment, Russell. Pryor.
Oh, Silvani.
Sensational smother on Hardwick, wasn't it?
Classic Silvani stuff. A desperate, just enormous player. He is the fullback of the century. And that's the type of pressure that the Carlton forwards need to put on the Essendon defenders, to keep the ball inside that 50, keep it around the goal square. Because that's what football's all about, pressure. As the kick from Wallace is intercepted by Ratton. Here's that pressure again. Excellent work from the Carlton side. Great start for them in this first couple of minutes. Ratton will line up directly in front and should put Carlton's first major on the board. There it is. Great start for the Carlton side. 1-1-7. Coming off the half-back line, Ross, we saw Koutafidis, but also Porter, his presence in the round the packs.
Yeah, this is this area where if the spearing pass coming in from the kick-out doesn't hit its target, the players in the defensive area, like Ratton and Williams around him, they're quick enough to seize the opportunity. That's always going to be a dangerous kick.
So Brett Ratton, best and fairest winner at Carlton, scoring the first goal. Back to the centre. Just the start the Blues wanted. Porter loses out to Somerville. Doolan to half forward. Now the mark is there of a Renshaw in front of Murphy. Similar distance to Ratton. Breeze not a factor, although if anything, judging by the flags on top of the scoreboard, it would be at his back, but of course it does swirl so much in this stadium that, as I said, it probably wouldn't really be a factor here. He's gone back a long way. A chance for the quick reply. He's kicking pretty well right on 50. Staggering run in. Doesn't quite make the distance. In fact, it does make the distance in the end. It floats off the hand of the pack for one behind. To the Bombers, their first score. With 2.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Bradley does the kicking in. Goes for distance. That's effective. He's got his first mark, the youngster Porter. And the butterflies may still be there, but they'll be abating. Kick to the edge of the square. No mark taken. Lucas tries to go off the ground. The Rhino gets a second chance through some heavy traffic to Ratton. Blues goal scorer on to Mackay. 250 gamer Williams. The usual reception from the crowd, but that'll only make him play better. Somerville, chance for Silvani. If he can get it clear to Pearce, he does, and a goal!
Geez, the Blues are on fire, playing with a lot of passion, moving the ball down that half-forward line, but you just see the presence. They're probably numbers around the ball, but then also the numbers in the goal square there, Ross.
The importance, too, of a good kick-out. Bradley found Porter in the middle of the ground, who took a terrific mark. And good teamwork here. Silvani, quick hands. Always the opportunist, Pearce.
We've seen quick hands from Silvani twice. That smother and then that hand pass.
13 plays, 1. Carlton will be very happy. Porter gets the tap down again, straight to Bradley. If he can do that for the rest of his career and play a lot of games, as Bradley just puts it straight through for the Blues. What a magnificent kick. Ho-ho! That is the Carlton everyone wants to see as they rush around Porter. Andy McKay, just tell him, great stuff. He's pumped. This is great stuff for the Carlton side.
That's textbook, isn't it? Almost threw it down his throat. Beautiful balancing, one bounce. Goal square was open. Silvani had come out cleverly. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Cleared it beautifully. That's all class.
Neil Curley on the boundary.
Yes, well, Simon Madden said the room was very electric before the game, and you can see that now with the way the Carlton boys are applying themselves.
A real Nathan Buckley goal, that one. Kicked by Bradley. So Essendon, time for a goal here. Wellman's kick, real up and under job. Almost marked there by Hickmott. Spilt it at the last minute. Bombers shell-shocked. Smoking Joe, Mercedes, Bradley in the road. No, he's not. Nice mark, Lloyd. Read it better.
It's a clever kick by Mercedes, Pete, too, to get the ball centred like that. I think Sexton was expecting the ball to go to the square, but Lloyd had come out. Bradley couldn't get back there in time. Well played by both Mercedes and Lloyd.
45 goals he's kicked this year. Matthew Lloyd. Only a youngster. "30 metres out. He's goal. Essendon's first."
Yeah, that's a bit of class too from that player. What a magnificent future he does have. Just see this again. Good work by Denham to get Dean off the ball, then just feeds it out very quickly. Mercedes has a look,
the vision,
just brings the ball back round to the centre.
Isn't that great vision, Ross? Like a player like that could have pinged on his left foot and had a shot, maybe kicked it behind, or maybe kicked a goal, but team rules.
Yeah, it's almost standard procedure now, isn't it?
Big Mark Porter for Carlton, again lining up, looking for the tap. He gets it again to Williams. Magnificent career, Greg Williams, 250 games. Lloyd unable to take the mark. Now Lucas it was. Now Hardwick through the half-back line for the Bombers. A great smother by Bradley. Here comes Carlton again. O'Sullivan back to Bradley. Has time to steady. Dangerous stuff for the Essendon side. Camporelli nearly takes the mark. The pressure's on the Essendon back line. Doolan relieves that pressure. Finds Caracella on the half-back line for the Dons. Blake Caracella been very good for Essendon. 10 games, he's kicked 17 goals, so a very, very effective half forward. Ricky Renshaw, veteran of 56 games for the Bombers. Premiership side 93. Night Premiership 94 is Pearce. Outbodies Wellman, takes an excellent mark on centre wing for Carlton. They're a different side. They were beaten by Melbourne last week. Williams again has had many touches, but good pressure from O'Donnell. Finding McCurry. McCurry returning to form against Sydney last week is the big Essendon's Ryan O'Connor. The big guy, number 3, takes a very strong mark on half forward, right on 50.
All started from that tackle, Roscoe, didn't it?
Yeah, Greg Williams just that extra step too many. He looked for a handball early, then decided to kick. Just an extra couple of steps and he was gone.
O'Connor will kick from probably 55. Only a slight angle. Looking for Essendon's second. It's a great game here at the MCG.
Yeah, good response by Essendon. Get that ball down quickly to the advantage of O'Connor. Just use his size and strength to advantage over Dean. This Williams just an extra step. Great tackle by Gary O'Donnell, not to infringe, just bring him to ground. Ball spills through. McCurry goes forward to a target like O'Connor. Marked that very well. The only criticism I have here, he had a couple of blokes behind him going in short, but he's back to them, but still he kicked the goal.
Great tackle by Gary O'Donnell, which ultimately resulted in the goal to his side. That'll please him after that 50-metre penalty last week. Mercedes, Simons. What can he do this time? Often turns the ball over. That's a mark. Umpire says Sexton assures. Koutafidis, left half back. Kernahan in front, too strong for Lucas. Sticks, looks for Pearce. Wellman nudges him underneath it. Williams, will he go off the ground? Doesn't get there first. It's paddled over the line. No, it's still in play. Wellman takes it over. We got away with one earlier that was a little bit more blatant than that one, so the umpire won't penalise him there, but the ball is in Carlton's left forward pocket. 13 degrees is our expected maximum, and this crowd probably around about the 80,000 mark now. It's huge. Porter and Somerville. The Rhino, O'Sullivan. Or Dedham, caught him too high. Mercury, courageous mark. Carosella. Kicks to centre wing, perfect. Pinpoint placement for Carlton. The Blues come away through Lucas. Or Essendon, I should say, up towards their forward pocket. Lloyd again, centering kick. Oh, Buick's got to fly with the big fellas, can't do so. Dean too tall. Ratton at half-back. Hogg provides the shepherd. Kicks to half-forward, Hardwick underneath it. Couldn't complete the mark. Mercury kicks it back whence it came towards half-forward. Oh, well, Renshaw didn't seem to have it when he was tackled. Buick off the ground. Go, Boris, they're saying. Boundary line is too close. Oh, Buick late.
And a free kick.
Hogg will take the free kick at left half-back. Closer to the back pocket.
There's the prediction we all wanted. Williams and Denham matching up on each other. They didn't start each other on in the square, but Matthew Hogg takes the free kick, much to the disagreement of Darren Buick. And a good decision by umpire Howlett. Now the Bombers with O'Donnell. Throws it on the boot very quickly. High ball. About 20 metres, but good punch from Matthew Hogg from behind. Disciplined stuff from the Carlton defender. There's another good matchup, Buick and Hogg. Buick continually arguing and talking with the umpire. Get you nowhere, Boris.
Yep. Mercedes gone on to Ratton, and Gary Donald's with Bradley.
Big Porter again with the right hand. Puts the Blues defence under pressure. Ola Renshaw, kick, looking for Lloyd. Desperate stuff from Manton. Throws his body into the pack. Ball still alive with Pryor. Bit of cat and mouse. Pryor, high ball, trying to centre it in front of the goal square. Kudafiti's the big fly. Ola Renshaw falls into his lap. Great mark.
What a great catch that was. It's 3 times now they've brought the ball to the front of the square without a result. In fact, Lloyd, a few minutes earlier, perhaps could have had a shot, but centred the ball right around to Buick, missed him. This is a great jump. Had the sit, but had to get over Kudafiti's as well.
Plus the punch of Porter.
Coming through.
Yeah.
Great mark. Deserves a goal.
Directly in front. This one to level the scores. There it is. The Bombers are back in town. They struggled early. Carlton kicked the first couple. I think now they've settled. A lot of pressure in a big game here at the MCG. Rosslock must be 60 or 70,000 people, so there must be a lot of nerves as Cransburg keeps the ball in.
Yeah, well done by Cransburg. And Pride just to assess what was going on. Looked a bit wider, then came back inside, got his kick away, set it up nice and high for some leapers.
Ola Renshaw kicks the goal and level the scores. 11.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Blues out of the centre, Kudafidis. Silvani involved in a wrestle, tried it one-handed. Mercury and McKay. Mercury will look for the boundary line, but it was actually McKay who kicked it over. Came off his shins. The umpire will throw it in Carlton's right forward pocket, 15 metres from the behind post. Scores level. Essendon got the first 3, or the other way around. Carlton the first 3, and then Essendon levelled it, 19 apiece. Camporelli out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Essendon will be taken by probably Simons. In fact, that is the case. Luke O'Sullivan stands the mark. Simons from the pocket. Somerville. Porter from behind punches. O'Donnell tackles again. Not as good as his one before. Camporelli. A little gift to Ratton. Amazingly through some heavy traffic there. Silvani, or hit him in the face eventually. Awkward bump ball. Carosella takes the hand pass. One bounce. Oh, bad kick. Ola Renshaw gives it back there to Pryor. 2 bounces. Right on 50 as Murphy chases. Long bomb to put Essendon in front, and what a goal! What a game! 4 goals unanswered by Essendon, and they lead by 6 points.
Yes, and all set up by Carousella coming through that back area. Michael Pry, that's an outstanding goal. If anyone's had to run at that speed and try and steady and kick long, having run that distance, as we might see this again, the ball feeds out, just took his chances. Koutafidis gave up the chase. Murphy had to take over. It's a great finish. Well done.
That's verging on goal of the day so far. Michael Pryor playing on Koutafidis. Somerville gets the tap this time, and only to be sharked by Ratton to Williams. Camporelli through the centre of the ground, tries to centre the ball, but it's not a very good kick, allowing the Essendon side, Hardwick, get a quick kick from behind Koutafidis, the big mitts, wrapped around the Sherrin. And he finds Camporelli, centre-half forward. Plays on quickly. Goal square. Kernahan could leave it. He does. The reply. Because we've got a great game here. 4 goals, 1 apiece. Some excellent goals. Great goal kicking.
And that's perhaps the area where Koutafidis will certainly have to call over Pry, and that's in height to take a catch like that from behind. And then untidy marking too by Essendon. No one on the mark, so Camporelli could play on. And good work by Kernahan in the square. Keeps Lucas out of it.
Well, defence has gone out the window. 8 goals kicked in the first half of the first quarter. 4 apiece. Free kick too high on the shoulder, says David Howlett. Carlton's free. Poor to the recipient. It's been quite impressive so far, the youngster. Funny kicking style. Straight to Hardwick. Ooh. Mark or free kick. Call it what you like. Centre half back Hardwick goes a little wide. Porter tries to punch. Koutafidis pursued by Mercury. Anstey marks at left half forward. Kernahan has to beat Wellman. Oh. Wellman over the top has taken the mark. Great grab. Lucidi and back to Denham in the pocket.
Running out of the back pocket, he throws it on the boot up towards centre wing. Tussle between O'Connor and Dean. Oh. The big rhino gets an arm round his big horn. Shoots it out off to Koutafidis now. Throws it on the left boot. Salvani, what a great mark with the one arm. Excellent work from Anthony Koutafidis. Equally better mark. Equally as good a mark by Stephen Salvani. Under a lot of pressure from Wallace, and just pulls it into the chest. 25 apiece. Salvani close to the boundary line. Kicks it wide, but straight through the middle. What a magnificent kick.
That's a great goal, Russell. 5-3 last week. Silvani off 11 kicks. This is an important target up there, in tandem with Steve Kernahan.
Especially realising that he's normally a full-back, Ross, and to kick goals like that, it's an excellent effort.
Yes, and Koutafidis is having an influence on the game at the moment, the last 5 or 6 minutes, just getting a few touches of the footy, doing very well.
Cockatoo Collins taking the place of O'Connor as Kevin Sheedy rings the first change. Camporelli spun around by that player. A stalemate. Another bounce just next to the circle. Carlton leading by a goal before this huge crowd. Umpire Quanya puts it down. Wellman, busy. Lloyd couldn't take the mark. Manton against his old side. Bends it across his body up towards halfback. Koutafidis again, busy across that line. Lovely ball by Kouta. Kicks towards centre wing. Finds Kernahan. 2 of the Carlton stars who have got to be stars today if they're going to win. McKay certainly looks a different Blues combination than the one that went down to Melbourne. Oh. Silvani, great use of the body to get away from Wallace. Marks in the pocket.
That was just excellent timing, the way he read the flight of the ball and just shoved Wallace out of the way, just at the last minute. Great
That's the
timing.
advantage of having played at fullback. Russell using that body work, now converting as a forward.
He's got a hard shot here. This is harder than the one he just kicked. And one behind, I think, maybe. Wait on the goal umpire here. 1-1 to Steve Silvani, down to Neil Curley.
From the Essendon's point of view, Somerville has to get into this game. He's allowing the young ruckman to just about control, but he's not doing anything in his field play.
McCurry out of back pocket, played on from the kickoff, and finding Michael Pryor. Pryor decides to change direction for the Bombers, trying to create a loose man. Well, they've got Wellman deep up towards centre wing, but the pace of Pearce may put a bit of pressure on, but and a kind bounce. Wellman onto the boot now. Justin Murphy out of halfback to Camperelli. Poor kick, bounces off the chest of Hardwick, but recovers quick enough. Olorenshaw unable to mark in the centre of the ground. It's a big pack. Buick is wrapped up by 3 Carlton defenders, Hickmott and Hogg, and also Ratton. So umpire Vernon will have a bounce. 3 umpires today: David Howlett, Grant Vernon and Sam Cronje. Peter Dean tries to find a teammate. Kransberg wraps up Koutafidis. Now Hickmott. The ball slips out of his hands and just luckily finds Ratton. Kicks it. Kernahan using his body well.
Would have got the free kick anyway, Russell, for over the shoulder.
I think that's what he paid, Roscoe.
Did he?
Rather
Okay.
than the mark,
Legacy of being in front. The Carlton captain and champion. Silvani! Wow! On fire!
Well, he had Olorenshaw coming back in toward him, and Silvani just, his eyes on the ball the whole way, on his chest that high. That's a great mark. Watch this, player coming back towards him, Olorenshaw.
It's not a real good kick. It was a bit of a
Floater.
The Kernahan
Helicopter.
tumble punt. Directly in front, leans back, sends it straight over the goal umpire's head for his second.
That setup down there is working pretty well at the moment, with Kernahan playing at about the 40-metre area, and Silvani the true full forward spot, and Kernahan getting his hands on the ball a few times around the 50. Taking some important marks.
Definitely a different Carlton side, Welsh, from last year.
Exactly.
Hard to believe these two sides are 12th and 14th on the ladder, isn't it? Such as the standard we've seen so far in the first quarter. There was the free kick. Silvani in great form. He's kicked 2 goals, 1. Probably could give him 2 goals too, because that smother resulted in a behind to Carlton. That was a perfect smother. Pearce from Koutafidis. Bad hand pass. Simons. O'Donnell. Anstey applies a tackle. Denham's in there. The umpire will ball it up right on 50. That's David Howland. His claim to fame, I suppose, is that he pinged Jimmy Steins in that memorable 15-metre penalty.
What a great day that was too, Peter.
For Hawthorn, not for Melbourne. Simons. Oh, gee, he was nearly legged there. Masiti had it, lost it very quickly. Comes in to apply a tackle. Quick hands to Williams. Kernahan this time leads out in front of Silvani and Lucas and takes the mark.
It's such an intelligent kick too, to put it in front of that space, just knowing where his skipper was going to go. It was either Kernahan or Silvani, both heading that direction. You might see this again.
But look at the congestion there. How he sees Kernahan leading to the other side of the ground is beyond me.
Well, it's a bit of that understanding, Russell, isn't it?
It's a
Just
champion.
knowing.
That's what makes a champion.
The stick certainly is that. 11 goal kicking. He won at Carlton. I think he's stopped that one. He likes it. The Blues get another one.
It's just, apart from the fact you have that vision too, Russell, it's just having played together for so long, just knowing various players' movements, seeing that space. And Kernahan, of course, reading the movement of Williams, just seeing him push the ball that area.
He didn't even have to
Spot
change
on.
step. Absolutely magnificent. Stephen Kernahan, 248 games. Greg Williams, 250 today. So nearly 500 games of experienced class. And premierships and awards and All-Australians. So we're seeing some great talent here at the MCG. It's 7-2-44 to Essendon, 4-1-25 as a free kick goes to Gary O'Donnell in the centre of the ground for 2 high. Excellent kick to Kransberg. The standard of football so far has been top class. Lloyd trying to float across the front of the pack. Carlton defence, desperation, 2 against 1 again. Sexton and also Hickmott wrapping up the ball with Mercury. True centre-half forward position for the Dons. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first term. Umpire Howlett slams a Sherrin onto the grass. Now Mercury trying to find teammates. Koutafidis on the burst, making himself some space just by twisting his body, turning his legs around just to avoid Ola Renshaw, but the kick was wide.
Diesel wasn't too happy with it.
No, well, considering the standard of the game so far, the kicking's been very good. But just Anthony Koutafidis, a mixed season so far, but an excellent start for him today. Mercedes finds Denham. Pressure from Camporelli. Two Essendon Carlton players spoil themselves as McKay looks for sanctuary of the boundary line. Keeps close. Koutafidis is brought into the game by McKay. Excellent kick. Kernahan keeping in front position. Ball very close to the boundary line, still alive. Denham does it well, breaks the tackle of Anstey, but second effort from Jacob Anstey does well. And the Carlton sub-orders calling for holding the ball. So is Luke O'Sullivan. But umpire Grant Vernon says, I won't have any of that. You can throw the ball in. Centre wing. Carlton by 19 points. And 3 minutes remaining in the first term.
Somerville and Porter. Porter wins it again. Camporelli. Silvani. Oh, gee, Wallace could have given away a free. The umpire let it go. Bomber defence working overtime to try and tie them up. Silvani applies a tackle. Simons is in there, and the man on the bottom is Damien Hardwick.
Carlton side certainly mean business. You can just see the difference in attitude from last week's game to today. It's just magnificent for the Blues.
Well, finals type atmosphere here. You'd think if one of these sides could miss out if they lose today, Denham. Make or break affair. Manton, Jukovic. Murphy chases. I don't think you'll get him. Jukovic, still he goes. Cockatoo, Collins, Heavy Shepherd. Still Jukovic runs into goal but misses a golden opportunity. And scores only a behind. What a run, though.
Yeah, did everything right too, Pete. Just settled the last couple of steps and just pushed that ball a bit to the left as he put it on his boot.
Well, he's gone over the line, I think. Yes, quite markedly. Which is a pity for Carlton because Williams was on his own. And it's going to be a ball up. If you're going to go over the line, don't go over the side one. The umpire can see that one from where he stands. The end line you can get away with as a rule. Camporelli brushes Cockatoo Collins, brings it out in front of goal. Koutafidis must take it. Oh, tried one-handed Simons. O'Sullivan, Pryor. Still O'Sullivan. Crunch into Kransberg. Carosella. O'Sullivan. It's tough in the clinches today, boys. And finally Koutafidis, the star of the first quarter.
Koutafidis with his 13th possession. Can't find Camporelli. Now it's O'Donnell through the centre of the ground. He loses it this time. Ola Renshaw under pressure. It's tough here at the G. Carlton versus Essendon. Inside the Essendon forward line. Hogg taps it cleverly forward. Now for O'Donnell, can have a ping of the big ones. The kick looks pretty good. It's magnificent.
You'll be saying thanks, Matty Hogg.
It's amazing too, is it just one mistake, which is the Koutafidis handball, with all the work done by Ryan O'Sullivan in the outer, just pushing players around, getting hold of the footy, setting up Koutafidis. An errant handball. Essendon go forward. And here Hogg just trying to keep the ball to the boundary, but knocks it forward to the advantage of O'Donnell, and it's a great goal.
Just over a minute left in the first quarter. The difference is again 2 goals, 12 goals. And the quarter's not finished yet. Ola Renshaw tries to take on Ratton and gets pinged for holding the ball. Ratton thought about the hand pass, goes longer to Camporelli. Needs to kick it quickly and does. Silvani and Wallace. Oh, the ball bounces back towards the goals. McKay hit the behind post, I think, so it's out of bounds in Carlton's right forward pocket.
The umpires at that end are going to be careful. There's no mauling going on with Silvani. If he takes front pos, he's got to be protected.
So throw in. Somerville and Porter. Gee, Porter's done well. Mercuri's kick smothered. Wallace will rush her behind. Veteran bomber. 84th game, but he began way back in 1987, Dean Wallace. So another rush behind to the Carlton total. The other one came off Silvani. That excellent smother in the first few minutes of the game. As I said, you could have almost given it to him. Wallace, Anstey. Wallace should just get clear and does.
Kicks long, but only finds Pearce in front of Olorenshaw. Pearce doesn't have a lot of time. Sends it up into the goal square, looking for a high fly. Williams was nearly that. Silvani off the ground. Great vision, but only finds Mercedes. Simons relieving the pressure as the clock ticks down. Denham. Pearce meets Mercury with a heavy hip and shoulder. Now Denham, desperate stuff. The Carlton forwards have put enormous pressure on the Essendon defenders as Ricky Olorenshaw ends up with the ball, but a magnificent quarter of football. I think highlighted by the debut of Mark Porter, who's given Peter Somerville 128 games start in the ruck, and Porter playing his first match. An excellent effort with the palming of the ball to his teammates in Bradley and Williams-Ross.
It was outstanding. No, for a fellow who would have been, as you said, very nervous and unsure about the whole scene coming into a game like this, he's done so very well. As Curl said, Somerville's had no effect on the game whatsoever, so it's a great credit to the young fellow. And the senior players of Carlton really have led the way. Kernahan, Silvani, Williams. Bradley's just struggled a bit today. He's been well held by O'Donnell, but Kudafiti's certainly has been brilliant on the outer wing.
So at quarter time, the Blues leading by 13 points, a 12-goal quarter, 7-3 to 5-2. Back in a moment.
If the house is rocking, don't bother knocking. If the house is rocking, don't bother knocking. Just step right in and let the fun begin.
Much was said about Denham and Williams, and they're at it again today. Nothing untoward yet. Second quarter from the G. Carlton by 13 points. Ratton first touch. Olorenshaw first kick. Lloyd, good mark. Doesn't miss those.
And he's done it against a very good opponent too, Pete. Young Matthew Lloyd on Sexton. Michael Sexton, predominantly more a centre half back than a full back. Just getting caught out on a few occasions. A couple of steps behind Lloyd, and that's all you need to give a full forward to let him have the opportunity to take a catch. He's done that a few times, Lloyd.
Just highlights the advantage of getting the ball out of the centre as fast as you possibly can, because he was in front of Sexton, caught him off guard. Easy chest mark.
For his 60th career goal. And second today, importantly for Essendon. I think he may have missed that one. He has. So Matthew Lloyd 1-1 against his name. Steve Silvani at the other end has kicked 2 goals, 1. So the difference back to 2 goals. Peter Dean this time will kick in. Quite remarkable that, as I said, these two sides 12th and 14th on the ladder. And what a crowd we've got here this afternoon. Murphy to Ratton. Ratton marks at half back in front of Denham as the Blues try to run it forward. Dean gives it back to Murphy.
They've been chipping the ball around now. Murphy elects to kick long towards half forward over the top of Wellman. A chance for Pearce, but Kernahan way behind his opponent, Cransberg. Just too many years in those Kernahan legs, I think. Veteran of 248 games. Led the goal kicking 11 times at Carlton, and holds the record for most number of games as captain. Many records, all Australian, best and fairest. Olorenshaw off the ground for the Dons, centre wing. In front was Jukovic, driven into the ground by Manton. Now Cockatoo Collins, the umpire, elects to call play on now. Hardwick, maybe it's the advantage for Essendon over the top of Lucas. Now's a chance for Carousel. He's already kicked 17 goals for the season, but the umpire has already called a free kick.
Well, he paid
Grant Vernon.
Yeah, he paid the advantage, Russell, and then realised that the fumble had occurred, so he brought the ball back correctly. So
Lucas taken.
Here we go.
Was that what, a free kick against Dean on Lucas?
Yep.
Okay. So it's asking the question where the mark is to try and time his run, because he'll be kicking from about 55 metres, a long way out. Big left footer. It'd be very close. I think it's there. It is. The Bombers started off this second term in great style, kicking the first goal. Scotty Lucas, his first, started off on Kernahan in the first term. Now a forward option for Essendon because it was breaking down across their half-forward line.
Yep, Cransburg's gone on to Kernahan. So Dean just...
It's a bit soft, isn't it?
It is a soft free kick. The advantage was paid. The ball was fumbled, so the umpire, Graham Vernon, brought it back. It's a terrific kick.
Pretty tough penalty for...
It is.
Hardly a touch, really. So Carlton doing all the Essendon doing all the scoring in the second quarter. Somerville, they've added 7 points to their total. The difference is now just a goal. Ratton to Hickmott.
Oh.
Williams, where he's flattened after he kicked it. That will be downfield.
And the umpire in the back corner too, Pete, gave the free kick.
So temper's becoming just a little bit frayed. His mind will be a little bit frayed at the moment, but he's up and he's okay, I think. Play continues. Cransburg short of centre wing. Cockatoo Collins the target. Oh, great effort from Ratton. That was a terrific bit of play to get it to Manton. Unfortunately, his kick really let him and his side down.
It was intentional though, Pete. He went for that boundary line. He went a tumbling punt just to push the ball. They had no one to kick to. So
yeah, McKay was probably his nearest option, wasn't he? And he was about 15 metres away.
Yep.
So fair enough. Somerville, Mercury, Simons, Pryor at the square. Murphy, good mark inside his own defensive 50-metre line. We've seen Murphy a lot on the forward line in defence at the moment, as is Peter Dean. Looking for a Shepherd. He wanted Sexton to break for him, and he did. Sexton's kick ordinary. Wallace could have, arguably should have marked it. Oh, is that deliberate? No, not according to the umpire. A little lenient today. We've seen a couple of those. Wellman in the first quarter and got away with it. Wallace there got away with it, a throw in.
It just seemed that he didn't want to keep the ball in play then. I think he sort of propped, waiting for Silvani to tackle him and let the ball roll over the line. Maybe he didn't have the confidence in handling the ball in front of such a champion in Silvani. But anyway, it's wrapped up again. Denham and Porter. Mark Porter, the first gamer for Carlton, taking the spot of the retired Justin Madden as we saw him being driven around the MCG prior to the game in a beautiful Rolls Royce. Saying goodbye for the last time to his supporters as Ola Renshaw flicks it out to Buick. He's been very quiet, wrapped up by Ratton. What great stuff from the Carlton midfielder. Holding the ball is the call. The advantage was paid and the goal was missed by Williams. So a few celebrations today, celebrating the retirement of Madden. 250 games for Williams.
Yeah, there's a free kick.
And it will go, umpire David Howlett, it will go to Carlton. It's going to go to Silvani right on the square for pushing in the huddle. So umpire David Howlett is amid controversy again. So Silvani will get a free kick directly in front of goal, 10 metres out.
This infringement might have been on Ratton, I think, just looking at the reaction of the players.
Why wouldn't you pay it where Ratton was? But anyway, Silvani puts the Carlton's 8 through. And it's back to 13 points.
Well, see, that's the rule now, Russell. If the free kick is, as the ball's been kicked out, there's an infringement around the ground, the kick is taken from the kick-off line. I didn't quite see what it was for, but umpire Howlett was in the middle of the ground.
Well, there's 2 soft goals, one for Essendon and one for Carlton in this second term, so that's the evener up.
Yes, it squares it up, doesn't it, Russell? So the Blues regained the lead that they enjoyed at quarter time, which was 13 points. Mark Porter's debut game has been memorable so far. 52 plays 39 as we restart. 2 soft, 2 controversial goals. Denham off the ground towards centre wing. It's a foot race. Simons gets there first. Oh, seemed to get caught without the footy. Buick, O'Donnell, Pryor. One bounce, long kick. Oh, Lloyd misjudged it. Sexton kept his cool and comes down with a very, very timely grab. Looks for Koutafidis. Just can't hang on to those marks. Cockatoo Collins, well shepherded. Hogg kept at bay. Somerville nearly. Murphy mops up over the head of Lloyd, going wide. Is it too wide? No, bounces just inside the line. Camporelli Past Denham. Then pigeons and seagulls galore. Mackay, did he take the mark or did he not? Yes, he did.
Right half forward for the Carlton side. Andrew Mackay tries to chip it into the hole, looking for Camporelli. Running onto the ball, pressure from Ola Renshaw. Again, cat and mouse. Throws onto the left boot. Awkward, looking for Silvani, allowing Wallace to change direction, finding Simons with a long handball. Simons propping. Cransberg. No one to kick to again, so elects to kick it along the ground and seek the sanctuary of the boundary line. Don't forget Monday, the president of the Carlton Football Club with Bruce McAvaney and Lee Matthews and Mike Sheehan. But talking footy, check your local guides for that one. Kernahan gets it down to Pearce, and I think there's a free kick against Cransberg, and the free kick will go to Kernahan in the ruck. Jewel.
He held him in the tackle loss on the ground unnecessarily so, and the ball wasn't in the area, so
Stephen Kernahan, the Carlton captain.
Crowd's just seen it on the big scoreboard. They didn't like it.
we'll see it here.
He's taken the ball. He's taken high by Denham. His right arm went across his throat, so good decision by umpire Sam Cronje. A lot of the people around the ground obviously can't see that. It happened so quickly. But fortunately, we have the replays as Kernahan hooks the ball. And the Essendon supporters say, bad luck. Sticks Kernahan, 1-1. 14 points, the difference to Carlton. Dean Wallace. Chips in short, finding Michael Pryor in the right back pocket.
O'Sullivan stands the mark. He's got in short. Ola Renshaw has it punched away by Kernahan. He sort of telegraphed it a little bit, and that was all that Kernahan needed. And Sticks pounced on it like a seagull on a piece of fat. 55 metres out. Carlton left half forward flank. Crowd certainly got its money's worth so far. Titanic struggle between these two teams. Williams in his 250th. Big Somerville. Nasiti. Wallace back pedals. Not that he does that too often. Ola Renshaw. Simon's good shepherd. Oh, he's off, is he, O'Donnell? Mackay had him after he outmarked Hogg. Be keen to do well after that 50-metre penalty in the last quarter against Sydney. The Bomber skipper. Ratton, oh, gee. Stood his ground well. Blues with the numbers. Bradley from Whitehead. Silvani, oh, awkward bounce. Wallace. Looks for Ola Renshaw. Did it well. Hardwick. Nasiti. No one to kick to. He's gone round in a circle. Back to Hardwick. To Pryor. Well, they need a Melrose.
Blumfield's just come on, Pete.
Blumfield straight off the bench. Man on his own. Just the break they needed. Oh, what a Graham Murphy. Sensational mark.
Great stuff.
Absolutely fantastic mark.
Typical Greg Williams style. He runs through the mark, collects the handball off Murphy, but puts it straight into the hands of Nasiti, unlike Williams. Now Cransberg off halfback as the Bombers change direction. And here we have Scotty Lucas will kick from 55. Big left foot. It's wide and one behind.
Oh. Yeah, an unusually poor kick from Greg Williams in terms of its direction. Nearly resulted in a goal at the other end.
Well, Lucas kicked one from the other side of the ground in similar circumstances, although it was a free kick, but from 55 metres he put it through with a big left foot.
Anstey's off for Carlton too, Whitehead on.
Sexton kicks the ball out long, looking for the running Porter over the top of Mercury. Great mark to Mark Porter.
It was.
Oh, and moves the ball quickly, like a veteran, off to Hickmont, leading Murphy. Makes no mistake, hands in front of his face. Takes the ball with one grab. Finding the elusive Ratton. Best and fairest in 95, a premiership year. Excellent effort from Brett Ratton. Really made him as a footballer. Now Kernahan unloads a big roost into the square. Looking for Silvani, trying the big one-hand drag into the body mark, which is typical Silvani stuff. And Curls, you got something for us?
Yes, the Carlton team is well settled with their big men power taking control. The Essendon boys have got to try and do a run and using the short man power, whereas Essendon have got the big men to kick to, and at this moment they're in control of the game.
Nasiti to Buick. as the Bombers run it out of defence.
It's his first kick, Pete.
Blumfield just onto the ground. Succeeds in getting the ball away from Adrian Hickmott.
That's surprising, isn't it, Ross? Darren Buick on his first kick.
Well, he's in a pocket for most part of the first quarter and the start of this second, but now having a bit of a run on the ball.
Can be a match winner. Just second game back, though, so it will take a while to adjust. Wellman from Porter's tap. Manton got a little nudge in the back from Lucas, who comes out with the football, gets caught with it, drops it. Blumfield pounces on it. Hickmott's got him. So it's Peter Dean, and the umpire will bounce it, with Carlton still leading 8-6 to 6-4. Left half forward for Essendon. Porter and Somerville. Buick nearly holding the ball because he bounced it. Dean, beautifully read by the Carlton veteran. Murphy and Cockatoo Collins. Murphy's come to life. Dean, one bounce, goes short, finds Kernahan. Beautiful delivery. Sticks thought about going on because O'Sullivan was on his own, but Simons very quickly dropped onto him, so the skipper goes back. But this distance in recent years has tested him.
Yeah, good play by Dean not to blaze away in the full forward area, just found a target short.
Kernahan from 50 and has missed again, I feel.
Well, he's got to keep having a shot at those.
Yeah, when he tries to go for distance, he does tend to punch it left, just drags a little bit across his body.
He's kicked a lot of goals in his career, so I think he's got to get his confidence back and keep having a plug away at them. As Wallace finding Pryor again in the pocket. Seems to be a bit of a standard setup for the Essendon side. Just chip it in short and look for the second option. But the Carlton forwards are playing good football. Excellent matchups. They're putting a lot of pressure on the Essendon side, not allowing Pryor an easy option. Great work by Hickmott, forcing Blumfield to try and spoil as Hickmott floated across the front of him. So the Carlton forwards are doing a good job. David Parker must have been working on this during the week because they haven't been kicking a lot of goals, the Carlton side. They've been struggling up in that area, but now with Silvani at full forward, Kernahan allowing freedom at centre half forward. And also Murphy starting to get into the game in this second term, doing very well. Kutafiti's amongst it. Ratton, who's had an excellent second quarter. He's 12 possessions and 5 marks, Brett Ratton, including that one goal. Porter and Somerville. Porter with the left hand, out-rucking Somerville again, as he and Luke O'Sullivan have a quiet word in each other's ear.
12 goals we had kicked in the first quarter, just 2 so far in the second.
15 points the difference. Just under 10 minutes remaining as Bradley now offloads to Murphy. A miracle goal. Disciplined stuff to the front of the square. Kernahan, Cransberg, good punch from Cransberg. Strength now to Denham. Has the running Buick through half back. Boris steadies onto his left boot. Execution excellent to McCurry in the centre of the ground. No options up forward. The Carlton defence doing just as good a job, although very loose there, as Pearce allowing Wellman to take an uncontested chest mark. Looking for the leading Lloyd.
Michael Sexton there, Russell, just standing about 10 or 15 metres in front of Lloyd, trying to cover the outer side, or the side, sorry, closest to the members, but Lloyd just went to the outer side and, of course, immediately had that 15-metre break. The kick only had to be good. There you see the break there.
So I think the key there is to wait for the option, because forwards now lead once, twice, and sometimes 3 times before they actually get the kick. In that case, Lloyd led wide, as you mentioned, Ross, and now will line up for his second and Essendon's 7th. As Somerville is being replaced by Ryan O'Connor, as Lloyd's kick, it's high and wide and out of bounds on the full. As Kevin Sheedy won't be happy with that one. Especially his key forward. He's kicked 1 goal, 1 out of bounds, and is currently being likened to Royce Hart.
Well, he's been very accurate this season. 45 goals, 18. It's a pretty good conversion rate.
Dean, when he finally gets to kick it, goes for distance. Lloyd nearly grabbed it again. Simons taken down in the tackle. Pryor, O'Donnell, Manton's got him. Could be a costly turnover. Masiti. Haven't seen much of Bradley since the first quarter. Denham. Doolan. Outside 50, mongrel punt, effective kick. Blumfield started on the bench. Will kick his first goal.
Good use of the body by Joe Mercedes on Bradley to get him out of the way and just set that up with a handball.
You mentioned Bradley, Pete, 3 kicks and 2 handballs, so it is a quiet day.
I haven't seen him this quarter, Russ, and he got a couple of touches early in the first term, but really it's about a quarter since he's touched the footy. Blumfield, point blank range, kicks the goal. So Carlton can't shake the Bombers off. And once again, they closed to a few points. 7-4 to 8-7. 9 points the margin.
Sorry, Pete, just some untidy marking by the Carlton defenders, not playing close enough to their man. Sexton initially on Lloyd. Fortunately, the kick went out of bounds in the full. That time, Hickmont just not be able to pick up Blumfield quickly enough. And Kudafiti's yet to add to his quarter time tally of 9 and 2.
We're back to 9 points. The difference here at the MCG is Porter out-rucks O'Connor. Second effort through the pack. Now Bradley gets a touch to Williams. The Carlton side are back in town. Pearce gets a mongrel punt to O'Sullivan. Open goal for the big Rhino. There it is. He puts it through. Great reply for the Carlton side.
And again, the importance of Porter getting his hands on the ball straight away as O'Sullivan's coming off the ground. That move was made before he kicked the goal.
And Pearce as well too, Ross.
Yeah. So Sullivan and Pearce off. Hannah and D'Ulio on. The Porter through the middle of the ground was terrific. Got the tap first, then followed it up. Ball finished with Bradley on to Williams. And this is a fortunate kick here. Under the tackle. Falls to the favour of O'Sullivan, and the goal results.
So the Blues get the quick reply again. As David Parkin makes a double change. O'Connor, Bradley, gets skittled. Umpire says, OK, you can keep going, and the Bombers do. Simons. Oh, geez, that a free kick. They went down like 9 pins. Lucas, a little give to Buick. Buick into an open goal, won't quite make the distance. Mercury, McKay's got him. No, he hasn't. He'll kick a goal. He runs in point blank range and dumps it.
And again, the fortuitous kick this time in Essendon's favour. Buick going for the big talk, just outside 50, off the side of the boot. To the advantage of Mercury, and he's such a clever player. Gets around the Mackay tackle.
Just strong. He doesn't fall over there. That was the
keeps
key.
his feet, then just takes an extra few steps and bangs the banana through.
Mercury's first, putting the Bombers within 9 points. As umpire Grant Vernon finds a free kick. We're in the back to Ryan O'Connor, much to the glee of the Essendon supporters. They obviously felt hard done by in those free kick decisions as Ola Renshaw takes the mark on 50. The leading Cransberg coming down from half back. Now Manton. Bit of time. Will change direction through the square, looking for options. Not many up through that half back line for Glenn Manton. Now looking for the leading Hannah. Well punched by Wellman. Blumfield clever. Now Hannah gets a touch off to Bradley. He's been quiet. Second possession this quarter, but terrible possession straight to Doolan. A lot of mistakes here in the last couple of minutes. Kicks off the side of boots. Now Dean off to Sexton. Wrapped up by 3 Essendon players. Lucas, O'Connor calling for holding the ball. Umpire Howlett says nope. I'll bounce it. Sexton playing on Matthew Lloyd at fullback. Big Ryan O'Connor spent a bit of time on the bench in the ruck against Porter, the first game for Carlton. Now Dean will chip in, takes it out of the ruck, brings it down to Ratton. O'Connor bends his big back. Kurtafidis can't. Cransberg now to Denham. Caught by Ratton. Losing ground, the Bombers. Bradley and Mercedes, 2 champions. No one can break away. Just on the edge of the centre square, favouring the Essendon side. 5.5 minutes remaining in this first half. 9 points the difference. Been a crackerjack game. The Blues led by 13 points at quarter time as umpire Hallett finds a free kick for holding against O'Connor. Says, I never even held him. Porter will get the free kick. and kicks it up past centre wing.
Kernahan the target. Kransberg's fist almost sees it to the boundary line where it's picked up by Murphy. Hogg too far out to score, you'd reckon, from there. 55 to 60 metres. Goes in short. Silvani. There wasn't much room to manoeuvre there. The kick had to be absolutely spot on, and it was. And Silvani found the space to take the grab.
That's the key, Pete, isn't it? Just the disposal. We've seen a few mistakes, as Russell mentioned, this last 4 or 5 minutes with both hand and foot. The kicks both times, then Murphy to Hogg, and then Hogg to Silvani, spot on.
Silvani for his 4th. He's kicked 3 goals, 1.
Oh.
He kicks and he misses to the near side. 3 goals, 2. So Silvani and Kernahan had missed shots that probably they should have got. The Blues still lead by 10 points with 4.5 minutes left in the quarter. Wallace, Bomber veteran, at last this year cementing a regular place in the side. It's taken him a long time to do it, Wallace, because he began, as I said, way back in 1987. Defence is much more on top this term. Pryor's kick from Hardwick. 2 Bombers probably spoiled each other. Ola Renshaw reads it well. Back to Blumfield. Porter up one-handed. O'Donnell caught by Hogg. Ball jarred free. Chance for the big fellow. Lucas has got him. McKay over to Koutafidis. Koutafidis out wide. Hannah just onto the ground, and Hannah marks in centre wing.
Mel Hannah's only played a couple of games so far this year. The kick inside 50. Excellent pass to Williams, the centre half forward. Greg Williams receiving the applause by the Carlton supporters and a few raspberries by the Essendon supporters. Will kick from directly in front, looking for Carlton's 10th. Doesn't make a mistake. That's what the Blues wanted.
Yeah, that's his first, Russell. That was a steadying goal they needed. Just getting both sides going inside their 50-metre zone about the same number of times, 24, 25 times. And this time the kick coming, was it Mil Hannah found, was it Camporelli?
That's what I was.
No, it wasn't. It was
it's
Whitehead. Whitehead on the outside. Just read that beautifully off the pack. Did the right thing.
Steadying goal for Carlton. Kicked by Brownlow medalist Greg Williams. Best and fairest winner Brett Ratton. Oh, Murphy nudged out Cockatoo Collins. Second sensational mark.
He's had 9 and 3, Pete. He started off across half back in that first quarter and was very, very good. Now forward, so becoming a very versatile player. As Lucas comes off for Essendon and Jukovic back on. Terrific grab.
Similar distance to Greg Williams. Needs to bend it around to the right or left. And went right, need to come left, and one behind. Kicked by Justin Murphy, his first score of the day, 10-9 to 8-4. The difference is 17 points. Late in the second quarter, under 3 minutes to half-time. A couple of leads for Wallace. Finally, he goes to Hardwick. And marked just in front of Whitehead. They chip it around again. Denham, you'll need to be quick. Sauce is just a little bit too far back. Dean went up one-handed. Jukovic had it and dropped it. Nasiti. Oh, Williams, beautifully read by the Brownlow medalist. Williams' kick up towards half forward. Silvani, free kicker on the shoulder. Mark, whatever.
Williams again, as you called it, Pete, like the dual Brownlow medalist. What a sensational vision. Like he saw the leading Silvani, just chipped it beautifully just in front of his eyes here. The Silvani's kick goes wide, but taken by Murphy, who's had an excellent second term. Lining up for his 9th kick in this quarter. He had 2 in the first term. Plays on quickly, hooks the ball around his body, but not well executed. Still in play, they're still alive. Whitehead trying something. Buick's taken across the leg by... It doesn't look good, in good shape. Whether it's a knee, I hope not, but...
I thought he put it in the breadbasket, but I think you might be right.
I think he caught one across the shin. Or a cork in the leg somehow. We'll have a look at it in a minute, but there's a throw-in at 30 metres around from the Carlton goal. Porter and O'Connor. Porter with the long arms. the cleverer. Now Ratton's wrapped up by O'Connor, as we see Buick.
The doctor's going out to him.
Hopefully it's just a kick in the leg and not any internal damage from a ligament point of
I
view.
think it's Koutafidis that fell across him.
Seems to be okay, not clutching the knee or anything. It may have just been a knock. Pryor's wrapped up again by Porter. Mark Porter, his first game, 3 kicks, 2 handballs and 2 marks and 10 hitouts in the first half of his game.
Let's see what happened to Boris, as we call him, Darren Buick.
Oh, DeLulio kicked him got him in the calf.
The calf muscle, yeah.
In the left calf. There's Masiti. Tries to steady the ship to Jukovic, now to Hardwick. Across the face of goal. Good punch from Hogg, but O'Donnell keeps his feet. The ball is just too quick for them all over. Boundary throw in. So Buick is okay. 2 minutes. He's just motioning off to the trainer. Give me 2 minutes.
Well, you won't need to because it's less than 1 to half time.
Bradley from 50. Trying to size up the goals. He usually puts these through. Kick looks good. It's great for the Carlton. Sensational. Magnificent goal. You can't keep a good man down, and Craig Bradley kicked a beautiful goal in the first term through this running through the centre of the ground, and another one there from 55 under pressure and putting the 11th on the board for the Carlton side.
It's the class of the man. Just, I'm going to say, just 5 and 3 by his standards, fairly low stats-wise, but as Ross has said, those 2 very important goals, and no one coming at him as he had a shot there. He had all the space in the world to run forward inside 50, and bangs it through.
A vital half-minute remaining in this half. Essendon would love another goal to get the quick reply as Carlton enjoyed their biggest lead of the day so far. DeJulio couldn't handle it, neither could Hannah, both starting on the bench. Hannah looks for the free kick against Simons for holding the ball. DeJulio, quick left foot, ouch.
Oh, the big rhino has just cleaned up DeJulio. Wow. Like running into a Jeep.
I don't think Ronnie knows too much about that. Anyway, back to him in a moment. Kernahan's got his own problems with Kransberg, who takes the mark on the last line of defence. Kicks to the outer side as the siren goes to end a more than eventful first half. Ron DeJulio has still seen stars. A test of strength now, as we often see after the halftime siren.
Well, Ryan O'Connor, Peter, 104 kilos running into you, so just imagine that. So it's
and falling on top of you as well.
Let's see what happened.
O'Connor just coming in now, collects him and falls down on top of him as they went to ground.
I think Ronnie's okay. He's pretty tough. A couple of deep breaths.
He's a big boy.
No, you wouldn't pinch his beer in a pub, would you? Ryan O'Connor, a big fellow, and Ron DeJulio might not remember too much about the first half. Darren Buick still with a little bit of a limp there after he got that kick on the calf, but I would say that he's okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure the halftime break will actually help him, Pete. You want to try and keep that warm and keep moving if it's corking in the calf, but perhaps a little bit of treat with some ice just to try and stem the inflammation if there's going to be some there. But it's a pretty good quarter for Carlton, but Essendon just hanging in there as well.
At 4:52, Essendon trailing Carlton 11-9-75. The break. We'll be back in just a moment.
If the house is rocking, don't bother knocking. If the house is rocking, don't bother knocking.
Third quarter at the MCG. Carlton leading by 23 points. They led by 13 points at the first change. And Porter has done very well. Bradley pumps that down to Camporelli. Koutafidis from Whitehead. A little fumble. Kouta again started well. Didn't see too much of him in the second quarter. There's a whistle. Murphy's got the football. It may be a free kick coming back to Ratton, who got one high. Ratton in short. Bad kick. Chance for Weldon to play on, which he does. Straight to Manton, so kick for kick. Then Manton playing against his old side. Interesting article on him in the footy record this week. He relates to
Interesting kick, please.
Toby Valence. It was an interesting kick, a short torp. Sexton. Kernahan, oh, sticky fingers, sticks to Williams. The crowd must be asleep. He didn't get booed. Simons squares it for Carosella. Didn't quite carry to him. Picked it up nicely on the half volley. Kick could have been a little bit better. Mercury, who kicked a nice goal in the first half, gets clear of Murphy. Oh, be a free kick. Kransberg got one too high. He'll take the free kick at left centre wing.
Peter Kransberg, right on top of the Coca-Cola logo here at the MCG. It's the Blues by 23 points. It's the Kransberg kick, finding Lucas, plays on quickly, wasting no time. Sexton was waiting for the bounce, could have gone over his head, but luck was a fortune, straight into his arms. Long kick now, Doolan trying to take the mark. Carosella, the better, jumps around Murphy. Excellent pass to Mercury, leading out of half forward. Centres the ball. Looking for Blumfield, can't mark. Ratton in front of the pack, Hickmont with strength. Rips the ball out of the pack now, Koutafidis. Back to Sexton, centre wing. Kernahan, long way out from centre half forward. With Silvani being at full forward, Stephen Kernahan's played all the game at centre half forward. Generally, he may switch from full forward to centre half forward in previous games, but allowing Kernahan more freedom at centre half forward, getting more of the ball. He's kicked 1 goal, 2 so far. Silvani has 3 goals, 2. Mercedes, good vision. Looking for O'Donnell, but Porter off to Ratton. In front was Pearce. Eyes on the ball, falls over. Mistake, now Simons, back to Doolan. Now Wellman, well caught by O'Sullivan. Holding the ball, it is umpire Howard calls it. The big rhino, left foot pass. Straight onto the chest of Sauce, son of Serge. Sergio Silvani, his father, playing 2 premierships for Carlton in the 60s and 70s. And Stephen Silvani, dual premiership player. Best and fairest winner, All-Australian. Fullback of the century. And at full forward, puts his 4th through. And Carlton's 11th.
It's been an important target up there, Silvani, just always wanting the front position on Wallace, whether it be in a jostling situation. Good tackle too here by O'Sullivan.
Terrific tackle.
Perhaps in days gone by you might have played that a push in the back, but O'Sullivan's then pinpoint pass. Important if you do the hard work to get the footy, use it properly. He did that, and the conversion was good from Silvani.
Two players there who finally got permanent places in their sides after a long battle. That was O'Sullivan and Wallace. Excellent free kick.
I think it was against Koutafidis getting in the square too early.
O'Connor. Punch by Sexton. Hannah gets a terrible bounce. So did Sexton. Ultimately, Oliver Renshaw pounced on it after both of those Carlton players missed it. And down to the boundary, Neil Curley has some injury news.
Yeah, to report on young Manton for Carlton. He's off with a strained left hamstring. He's being tested now around the boundary. Just have to wait and see how he comes up.
Thanks, Curls. I saw Cockatoo Collins speaking to the doctor too a little while back. Manton seemingly moving okay. More on that. Mercury. Mercedes, it'll give. Hickmott, Bradley. Kicked 2 goals, but down on possessions by his lofty standards. Wellman looking for the free kick. Tapped on to Kransberg from Hardwick. Kernahan tried a little toe poke. Didn't succeed. Pearce pitches it. 20 out. Kicks and he has missed.
Yeah, good work by Kernahan to get to the second effort and then tap the ball out between his legs to set Pearce up. Indications are perhaps he should have kicked with his right foot.
Well, it's 5 straight kicks, the difference. 5 goals, 30 points. The Wallace kick, worm burner. Just landing the arms of Simons. Another short chip. Essendon have done this a lot out of the half-back line, chipping the ball around, looking for an option. The option, they've found one in Blumfield. He takes the mark on left half-back for the Dons. Opens up the play, looking for Mercury, unable to mark. Good punch from McKay. Now Carosella, front and square of the pack. One-on-one, Lloyd and Sexton. Sexton, oh, beautiful recovery. Good tackle from O'Connor. Handball out to Hogg. Excellent work from the Carlton side. They break away off half-back Kernahan. Long way down from centre-half forward. Left half-back he is. Big sticks, that's his 8th kick. Had 7 marks. Number 8 there. Now through the centre wing position. Kicks up towards half-forward. Pearce. Great execution from Kernahan. Pearce doesn't let him down with it. A one-grab mark. Looking for Silvani. Ignores that. Near the goal square, Dean. Koutafidis caught. Koutafidis. Hardwick under pressure. Looks for a teammate, but also the boundary line. Disguised it beautifully. Out of bounds.
Right next to the behind post. 12-10 to 8-4 is the score in favour of Carlton. Kernahan at the back. Gee, straight out of bounds from Peter Kransberg. Gee, didn't disguise that at all. But nobody's been penalised for deliberate today, so the boys taking a few chances and getting away with them so far. Kransberg and Kernahan do the ruck work. Williams, Denham, Hardwick, good hand pass, good hands. Pryor, plenty of run in his legs. Couple of bounces, clear of Koutafidis, contest at centre wing. On the Renshaw, Hannah. Little flip up, Murphy, who's been good. That wasn't to O'Donnell. Hickmott tries to barge his way through. Carlton with numbers, Camporelli. Quick kick up inside 50. Almost a mark. Kernahan couldn't complete it. Hardwick did well. Denham, after Kransberg left it for him. Hardwick doing the hard work and doing it well. Porter, one-handed, nearly held. Mercury, umpire says play on, fellas. Well, that was a throw. O'Donnell kicks it down towards half forward. Hannah got a terrible bounce. Player slung as he kicked. And the mark taken by Hickmott. That was Lloyd. Over the head of Dean. Bradley's there. One of them should take it. It's Bradley. Williams. How does he get on his own so often? Whitehead. And Whitehead marks close to centre wing.
Left half forward for the Blues. Whitehead pass. Kernahan getting a lot of the ball now, bringing Bradley into the game. Williams again. It's his 15th possession. Williams. Koutafidis on the left boot. Steadies. Looks pretty good. He loves it. So does Brad Pearce. The Blues' second goal for the quarter.
Just shows the importance too of players on the ground being front and square of the contest, making sure they're running directly at goal. Good sharing the ball here. The contest 2-on-1 to Silvani in front there, front square, beautifully done by Koutafidis.
Anthony Koutafidis got the goal. He had a great first quarter, a little quieter in the second, but his stats quite impressive so far. 11 kicks, 3 hand passes, and now that first goal. Bombers need the quick reply. They won't get it maybe here. Masiti had the footy, but was taken high. O'Donnell, clever knock on. Oh, good tackle. Ball jarred free in the tackle, picked up by Ratton. They're playing with confidence. Williams, Buick chases. Kernahan in the middle, couldn't complete it. Pearce loves these on his left, kicks. Goal umpire doesn't roll, gets another one.
Well done again, Pete. Porter in the middle. And also the Porter's coming back to Williams, finding space and getting away from Denham. But just the teamwork of Carlton again in pushing the ball forward. A player in trouble is always an option to give the ball off quickly. A player moving toward goal. Good tackle by Hogg there too. Ball allowed to play, the game allowed to play on. And just numbers everywhere. Williams could have come inside to Koutafidis, but again, who's front square? Carlton, there they are. Good kick by Pearce.
Well, Kevin Sheedy will be wondering how to reduce his 42-point lead of the Carlton side. He's kicked 3 unanswered goals in his third term. Peter Dean, eyes on the ball. Couple of kicks off the ground, gaining valuable meters. Beautiful flick to Bradley. Polished hands off to Hogg. The Carlton side are away. The Sauce takes one high when he takes the mark. Like Simons, I think it was, as Brad Pearce is indicating.
That's as sharp a handball as you've seen in a game of football from Greg Williams, and also the effort of Dean to chase the balls that came out of the centre from the Masiti kick. As you see the infringement here from...
Just a flick, nothing wrong with that. But the build-up started off the half-back line with Peter Dean.
Just attack the footy, push forward, ball finished up with Williams.
Sauce looking for number 5. It's only 4 goals, 3 for Stephen Silvani. They lead by 43 points, the Carlton side. It's been all Carlton this third term. They led by 23 points at half-time, 13 points at quarter-time. They've kicked 3 unanswered goals. Essendon yet to score in this third term. As Gary O'Donnell desperately looking for options up forward.
Denham. An interesting duel with Williams when they've been together, but we haven't had the predicted fireworks. They didn't start off together. When the match got underway, Kudafiti's too tall. Williams, a little flip on, intended for the rhino, but he couldn't read it. Taken over the line by Simons.
Peter, I think Greg Williams has been a lot more damaging. Like, Williams has had 18 possessions to Denham's had 18, but the Williams possessions, it's been where they are and how they've been executed, putting players through gaps and allowing players to kick goals. I mean, excellent effort.
In that regard, vintage Williams. There they are. I'm sure they've got a lot of respect for each other, but not too much liking. Whitehead, snap. He's hit it. Goal. So he gets his first, and the Blues roll on. 15-11 to 8-4.
It's such an important start in this third quarter, just to assert yourself, the authority on the game. Just sharing the ball around, players contributing all across the lines for Carlton. Kevin City trying to plug the gaps, but nothing working for him at the moment. They've just got to get something out of the centre through Ryan O'Connor.
It's been all Carlton. 4 unanswered goals as Porter tries to jump early, but O'Connor gets the tap. Murphy off half-back line, spent a bit of time up forward, half-back. And Williams is the man of the moment for the Carlton side, as the umpire is blown as a free kick against Denham.
No, 2 Denham.
Sorry, 2 Denham.
Yep.
For too high. Against McKay, yep, in the Shepherd. Great camera work there from the 7 network. I think the Carlton supporters aren't real happy with Sean Denham. Kicks it wide, looking for Lloyd. Good punch from Sexton. Cransberg falls over. Now trying to bring Lloyd into the game. Here's a chance for the Essendon full forward. Puts it through for a behind.
Kevin Sheedy's taken Dean Wallace off. I'm not sure if he limped off, but Ola Renshaw's back on. Lucas has gone to full back on Silvani.
So Matthew Lloyd, 1 goal, 2. He's 46 goals for the season. Their leading goal kicker is Hannah to Hickmont off half-back. The Blues are away again, all too easy. Kudafiti's again, coming up for his 12th kick. That was 6 marks, 16 possessions. They played 14 minutes in this third term as Simons pulls it in, much to the displeasure of Andrew McKay and the Carlton supporters. Now to Hardwick, they concede metres, the Essendon side, trying to set up options. Under pressure was Wellman. Excellent work from Kudafiti, but too high again. Eyes only for the ball with Kudafiti, but his arm went across his neck and is deemed too high against him.
Punch by Sexton. Doesn't clear the area. Hogg up and under. Courage needed here. Kudafiti's, yes. Not a header. A little bit behind the play. Williams has got the kick. It was going to be downfield anyway. Greg Williams, left centre wing. Camporelli calls for it. Hannah gets it. Hannah off 1 step. Simons over the top of Kudafiti's. They telegraphed that a little bit. The Bombers take command. Not for very long, Dean. That's centre half back. Sexton and Hannah, they could have raffled it. Hannah will be keen to get a few stats on the board. Lucas or spoils Hardwick, or vice versa, whichever way you like. Now they share it around. Comes to Simons through the chain of hand passes. Oh, he's gone. Hardwick. Good tackle from Kernahan. Williams and Denham. Let's see what they can put on here. Denham. Off the ground, Blumfield, now Pearce. Beautifully done, Whitehead on his own. Ratton, Hogg. So they're going the long way home via the Cape. Matty Hogg's kick to Silvani. 2 Essendon players are there. Murphy, ball around, and he has kicked the goal! 16-11 to 8-5.
Took them a while to set that one up. They messed it around with it a lot across the half forward line, across that wing, but then probably
as long as you're in position, Russ, I mean, you might waste if it gets up there you don't score, but Murphy becomes their 11th goal kick, which is indicative of how they played today. Contributors all across the ground. He's been very, very effective.
And Curls, you've got a report on Wallace?
Yes, we have. It's his right calf. It doesn't look too good. And young Manton is still warming up around the boundary.
It's the Carlton side have got it back in their forward line. They led by 54 points. The pressure's on in there. On the Essendon side is Buick. With a calm head finding Pryor. Haven't seen the Carlton forwards play like this in weeks. As the kick right across the front of goal, Camporelli could have made them pay. But lost a bit of balance, allowing Doolan now to pick up half-back. Through the centre of the ground, his kick. Sexton, eyes only for the ball, attacks it, as all the Carlton boys have done today. Hogg bringing Murphy into the side, into play as Lloyd tumbles over the top. And Grant Vernon's claiming Murphy ducked his head. And play on was the call. Down he goes, over the top. Umpire Vernon claims play on. Throw in O'Connor and Porter, now Bradley. Bradley, quiet second turn and mild first turn to Hickmott, back to Bradley again, back to Hickmott, they're waxing. Kernahan, too much space, centre half forward all day for Sticks. He's kicked 1 goal 2. Koutafidis, mark number 8. Motioning to play on, but I think they should have a shot. He's only about 45 metres out, a slight angle.
It's a tough call for Michael Bry. He's had a pretty good game. He's worked very hard to try and counter the effect of Koutafidis. Did it very well in the second quarter. When he starts breaking free and the options are there, very hard to cut back.
Well, the Carlton side have been moving. That is the difference. Their forward line has been mobile as Koutafidis is playing off the half back. The kick may be wide. It is, but the movement through that half forward line. Whitehead in the second half with Silvani and Kernahan. Kernahan carrying a lot of ground, running up to half back, taking the mark on the wing, running back to half forward, so playing like a 24-year-old. Pearce has kicked a couple. Bradley through the centre. O'Sullivan dangerous. Whitehead, as I said, dangerous. Koutafidis has kicked one. So Blundfield from the back pocket finding Scotty Lucas on half back.
Lucas, big left footer, a nice goal earlier. Doesn't go too long this time. Wellman, still left half back flank for Essendon. Across the outstretched arms of Deans. Oh, gee, this guy's first game. He's playing like a veteran. Porter, Hannah from Hickmott. Again, they share it around. Kick comes up to half forward from Dean, marked by Whitehead, who's already kicked a goal in this quarter from close in. That wasn't a good option.
Glarising, Pete.
Lucas, a little bit too tall for Matty Hogg. He's gone right across the goal. Oh, gee, that was dangerous. It needed to be accurate. Buick takes the mark in front of Silvani.
Gee, you've only got 36 players in the front half of the ground.
Buick out wide. Transferred in front of Koutafidis. Back to Pryor. Williams comes at him. That's as far as he's going. Murphy punches it away. Pinches it in the end. Well played. Kick might be off target. It is. It's out of bounds on the full. A little bit too wide for Steve Silvani, who's kicked 4 goals 3 today. And a free kick will be taken in the right back pocket. Wellman again.
Pete, I don't want to be accused of harping on it, but the pressure that the Carlton forwards are putting on the Essendon defence, not allowing the easy options out of that half-back line, that's proving them to make mistakes and forcing them to kick across goal. So it's excellent effort from the Carlton side.
108 to 53. Carousella, Bradley. Bradley's kick anyway because it's either out of bounds and Bradley will take the free kick, but he gets going quickly. That's a wrestle. Koutafidis comes up with a brilliant hand pass to Whitehead, 15 metres out and drills it.
That's a brilliant handball, Pete, wasn't it?
Whitehead second.
Second of the quarter for him, 17-12 to 8-5.
Great hands.
Play the game wide up.
Great hands beat by Koutafidis, just getting some important touches. I think Bradley again, just not a big influence on the game, but just accumulating 7 and 10. And here, just that sharp handball. The option was there for Silvani with a handball, but kick it yourself.
Oh, the Blues 6 for the quarter takes them to 17-12 to 8-5. The Dons have only kicked 1 point this term as Bradley offloads to Ratton. Just a facsimile of what happened earlier in the quarter. Now Silvani spills the chest mark, but brings Kernahan around the corner, the big sticks, but just wide. He's third behind.
A facsimile. It's very good.
That's called a duplicate. Thanks, Ross. As the captain barking some orders into the forward line. Kransberg takes the mark from the kick out, but a poor kick. Although finding the running Doolan into space, it's 3-on-1. Doolan gets his kick quickly. Sexton in front position, looking to claim a one-handed mark. Lloyd putting good pressure on. Hickmont, excellent defender for the Blues. DiIulio getting himself into the game. He's been quiet. Spent a bit of time on the bench. Kudafiti's unable to mark. He's been a star this term. Hardwick wide to Pryor. Pryor's probably been one of their best under a lot of pressure, although he's been on Kudafiti's, who's had 19 possessions, so that says a lot for his game, but he's tried hard. Zola Renshaw finding Jukovic. Bombers starved us of score. Now Lloyd over the top. O'Connor open goal. They're first for the term.
His second.
Yeah, didn't have to work so very hard to get it as well. I think Pryor, you mentioned Russell, I think he's done as well as he could on Kudafiti's. He's worked so very hard, and I've no doubt he'd been their best players. There's no consolation when your side's behind. That's a poor kick by Jukovic. Unfortunately, the spilt ball falls to the advantage of Lloyd. Desperate effort there too by Porter. He's everywhere, that player. Up in the ruck, down the back half, working very hard. But it's his ascendancy in the middle of the ground that's really set it up for Carlton.
Back to the centre. Carlton's lead at one stage, 61 points. Essendon have pegged that back with that goal. Hogg, chased by Mercedes. Williams, again on his own. 30-metre hand pass to Bradley, who's having his best quarter of the match. Kicked a brilliant goal in the first term after a tap from Porter. Goes in short this time and finds DiIulio, who marks 45 metres out from goal.
As soon as Greg Williams missed the ball from the tap from Porter in the centre bounce, he took straight off to the other wing. And there he was in space with Hogg finding him. The ball comes back inside. DiIulio, who spent most of the game on the bench, gets a chance for a shot at goal.
Popped a very heavy one just on half-time from O'Connor. From 48 metres, DiIulio kicks. And he has missed, judging by the lack of crowd reaction. Only one behind, kicked by Ron DiIulio. The bench warmer today for the Blues. O'Donnell to bring the ball back into play. Last few minutes of the third quarter, 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock. Bombers going down by a point last week at the SCG. Won't be a bigger margin today. Carosella. This is out to Kernahan, although neither got an effective touch to it. Bradley, I think, kicked that off the ground the wrong way. Doolan chases. Doolan gets there, so too does Dean. Takes him and the footy out of bounds. And umpire David Howard says throw it in.
The almighty third term, the premiership quarter for Carlton has netted them 6 goals. Set up an excellent lead going into the final term. As the ball is going nowhere. In between centre wing and half forward for the Bombers. Sean Denham playing on Greg Williams. Williams has been a star. Porter, his first game, also been a star for the Blues. No one knew much about him. He just knew he came from Coburg, filling some pretty good big shoes in Justin Madden and also Matty Allen. An excellent effort. 16 hit-outs, 3 kicks, 5 handballs and 3 marks for the 20-year-old. Wins another one. Hardwick spurts it out, looking for Zola Renshaw. He's taken around the legs by Hannah. Well, Hannah looks a bit rusty, but you'd expect that from the Carlton veteran. He's only playing his 3rd game and he's 185th for the Carlton club. As Dean in front, man in front, well, should be paid the mark.
Got to play that, yes, he has.
But more so, it's an indictment on Blundford from behind. If you you're behind, you should always punch. And that's probably why the Bombers are so far behind as Greg Williams gets another possession. The diving Luke O'Sullivan wraps up Blundfield. Could be a hole in the ball this time. Second effort from O'Sullivan, unable to mark. And then wraps up Blundfield. Big Rhino. In his 60th game in over 10 years of football for the Carlton side. But very consistent season, 13 for the year. Excellent clubman. And a big practical joker for the Blues is Murphy. Outstretched arms, allowing Carousel and now under Lloyd, who's a long way out of goals. Looked for the pass, but maybe should have had a shot from 45. Missing Jukovic. And only one behind. 1 goal, 3 for Matthew Lloyd. 46 for the season. And kicked 3 State of Origin goals. An excellent start for the Vicks.
So the last minute of the third quarter, McKay. DiUlio, short of centre wing. Can the Blues get another one before three-quarter time? Kransberg in front of Kernahan takes the mark. So maybe a chance for the Bombers. They'll need to get it moving quickly. They've got the numbers here at left half forward. Masiti from McKay. The matter being brought back on the mark by the umpire. 56 points is the margin. Now a play on call from the umpire. Masiti goes for distance. Dean went up one-handed. Lucas, Buick tries to bend it with the right. He does, but he bends it too much. Behind, now out of bounds on the full. Not Boris's day so far. Free kick to Carlton in the right back pocket to be taken by Adrian Hickmott. Not too much time left. He's got in short, but there is the siren. We're in hostilities in the third quarter. Dean has the kick. Sheedy has a run. And at the final change, the Blues leading 17-14, 116. Essendon, 9-6, 60 points.
Quarter again, and Kernahan had an excellent quarter that time, Ross. I mean, cross half forward, I mean, for aging legs, he usually spends a lot of time at full forward, but this man here, Williams, the hands and his foot passing, it's just a delight to watch.
Just shows the dominance of a big fella in the midfield. Just makes such a difference to a side and get his hand to the ball first and feed the smaller players. And Carlton have had what Essendon just haven't had, and that's key forwards and key back players. So right down the spine, Essendon have been lacking all the way through. Lloyd started off okay. No one at centre half forward, centre half back struggling. Kransberg's trying to pick up Kernahan. Of course, that Wallace is off Silvani with a calf.
Curl's made a good point about the lack of big men. Like Somerville's been on the bench. He hasn't had a kick. He's only had 6 hit-outs.
Connor's just had the 3. He's kicked a couple of goals, but really has struggled to have any influence around the ground.
All right, so three-quarter time at Carlton with a 56-point margin, 17-14 to 9-6. We'll be back at the MCG in just a moment.
Trying to put some method into his team, but I think it's a thing out of no avail. Kevin knows he's being outplayed at this stage. He's just trying to keep his team up and see if they can score some goals in this quarter.
Lights on at the MCG. Hardwick, as the last quarter gets underway. Carosella, they need quick goals, and they need a lot of them, Essendon. Sexton in the last line of defence. Too good for Lloyd. DiUlio. Copped a heavy one just on half-time from O'Connor. Took him a while to recover from that. Porter over the top. Couldn't complete the mark. Mercury, Buick. Buick from centre field. Kicks to Lucas. Sticky hands, and he's got it. In front of Dean. Hardwick looking a little bit proppy. Lucas, or Lloyd rather, nearly. O'Sullivan takes the hand pass. The Rhino from left half back. Beautiful vision. Silvani, long way from goal. He's been playing it full forward and kicked 4 goals, 3. Won't score one with that one. Kransberg backed his judgment. Essendon with numbers. They should be able to clear it out of here. He flips it up to Wagga Renshaw to Hardwick. McKay's got him. Holding the footy, is it not? No, not according to the umpire. Hannah flips it back. Buick. Kudafides, good tackle on Mercury. Pryor, one of Essendon's best. They go backwards. Doolan from half back.
He shoots it out wide towards centre wing. Carosella's the man. Sends a long handball now to Simons. Can steady, looking for options, and finds one straight down the throat of Joe Masidi. He in turn down the throat of Lucas. Scotty Lucas kicked a good goal in the second term from about 55. This one he'll kick from about 48, 47 metres, directly in front. Looking for the much-needed 10th for the Bombers. Left foot. It's hard to tell, it's wide.
He just fell off balance in the last minute, Russell, so pulling his kick to the right.
9-7 takes him to 61. Trailing Carlton. 17-14, 116. It's the long kick from Carlton, finding Ratton. He had a choice there of Sexton or Ratton. It's been the story of the day. Out wide to DiIulio, centre wing. Looking for Kernahan. One little nudge, a slight push, off a little handball to Whitehead. Looking for his third. Oh, there it is. What a great execution.
Well, he knew what Kernahan was going to do, didn't he?
They were slick. They were really well slick. And Kernahan showing experience there with a little flick handball. And then Whitehead not letting him down with a great kick for goal.
Again, the importance of getting the ball from that kick-off to a man. They had two options in the middle of the ground, and then they just used the ball so effectively. Good hands and pace. It's a great kick from that spot, running at that speed.
Whitehead kicks his third, and Carlton goes further ahead. The margin back to 61 points. That's the biggest it's been all day in this match. Shuffled out the centre wing. Ratton tried to go off the ground. Hickmott, Mercury. He looked for a hand pass. Now he'll go left. Kicks it short. They actually lose some ground. Pryor has it. DiIulio. He could have attacked it a little bit harder. Now Hannah, a chance. He'd be keen to make the most of it. Porter, tied up. Masiti on the Renshaw. A contest in the goal square. Hall will rush it through. One rush behind to Essendon. .60 points is the margin. And Craig Bradley is going to kick it back in. Had a quiet patch in the early part of the second quarter. He's certainly made amends. 20 possessions. And they've been quality possessions. Bradley's kick is long. Kutafiti's the target. Couldn't complete it. O'Donnell at the back. Comes out towards Pryor. It's from Doolin. And McCable was inquiring where the mark is from umpire Vernon. Denham around McKay. Kutafiti's missed it. Flipped up by Williams. Dean. Ratton, who's been very consistent. Kutafiti's back to Bradley at right half-back, and will try to set something up from there.
From centre wing, no real option, so he elects to kick into space and maybe looking for the boundary line, but only finding Kransberg. In return, shoots it out to Jukovic. Jukovic going towards the centre of the ground, now to Pryor. Now the Bombers again changing direction. He squares it across and Hardwick to Caracella. Now a bit of time to set it up, but not many forward options. Carlton players putting pressure on Caracella. Forced to chip it, looking for the running Masiti. Masiti now off one step, looking for the leading Lloyd. Excellent punch from Sexton. Now Murphy one-on-one against Caracella. He wins. Looking for Camporelli was now O'Donnell. Good tackle from Hickmott. A handball straight to Denham, and Denham finding Mercury directly in front to put Essendon's 10th on the board. The Bombers messing around with it a bit there. They obviously lacking confidence in kicking it long and trying to find teammates. But
no target there, Russell. It's been indicative of how they played all day. There's no one to kick to in that key forward area.
Mark Mercury kicked one in the second term. As we can see, the angle looks pretty good. Just sneaks in inside the left post. His second, Essendon's 10th. Needed goal. They had 8 on the board up to half-time against Carlton's 9, against Carlton's 11. It seems to be all over us.
Hickmott there just either got the call from Denham, two former Geelong players, and obviously the wrong player to go to. And set up for Mercury.
10-8 to 18-14. O'Connor, or Hardwick, went without it. Comes up towards half forward. Buick, a little gift to Carousella, knocked away by Hogg. Murphy, Hanna, as the Blues again turn around. Feedy's under pressure. Hanna, back to Hogg. Hogg, quick kick from half back. Esmond with the numbers. Williams reads it best over down to turn them up. Great duel today. Probably insane. Williams is on top. Pearce getting back to some form. Kicked a couple from close in. This one too far for him. Silvani at the back. Good use of the body. Just edged out Norman at the last minute. He's kicked 4-3.
It's been a great game for Carlton as he gets some players like Pearce and others back into a bit of form. Kernahan, that's typical Silvani, just using his body, not interfering. Just read it beautifully.
Another 20 metres out. He kicks and he goes. He's got 5. 5 goals, 3 to Steve Silvani. 19-14 to 10-8.
Same return as he got last week, but it's just been brought to my attention. It was a good call that do wonders for the Carlton percentage as well, this. And Pearce has really done some good things across half forward. Just moving well, taking grabs, just getting some confidence back.
Also, Ross, this Carlton win sets up a fantastic game against North Melbourne next Saturday at Optus Oval. Whereas for Essendon's point of view, they take on Port Adelaide next Friday night here at the G, which in the scheme of things from a finals point of view will be an absolute blockbuster. With Bradley coming out of the centre again, he had 12 possessions in the third term and he's trying to rack that up again in this final term. Cransberg relieving pressure for the Dons. Jukovic across half back. Now McCurry doesn't let the Bombers down. Simons has tried hard off half back. Not got too many teammates that have been there with him, but Simons driving it long, looking for Lloyd, finds him with a beautiful outstretched mark.
There's been very few occasions where Matthew Lloyd could lead to a player running down the field and deliver the ball to him in that fashion. He's virtually had to body himself against Sexton. He had the better of Sexton probably the first 15 minutes of the game. Sexton's worked his way on top. Quality player there is. That's a great mark. Deserves a goal.
We'll kick it from about 30 metres, 45-degree angle. Kick poorly so far today, 1-3, one out of bounds. But prior to coming into this match, he had a pretty good strike rating, 45 goals, 18 for the season. Number 2, and he's 47th for the season. Consolation for the Bombers. Bomber Thompson, premiership captain for the Bombers, is contemplating where they're going to get a win because they've lost. If they lose this one, which it looks like they will, they'll be 8 out of 10, Roscoe.
Yeah, very few opportunities now for Essendon. They, as you mentioned, must have a very hard road the remaining weeks. It's, as I say, one of the few occasions they can bring the ball through the midfield and set something up in their forward area.
To the margin to 54 points as we approach the halfway mark of the final quarter. Buick, Simons, well tackled, holding the footy. Ratton, Holt hits the deck. Will go, Matty Holt. Too many easy kicks on him. Pearce has been good all day. He started in the half-back position or across half-back in the first quarter and played well. Moved to the forward line in the second term. Did equally well. O'Sullivan. Oh, Silvani, he marked that! Right one-handed. I guess the only problem confronting David Parker is where to play him, full back or full forward.
Well, that's just outstanding use of the body. Just keeping his eye on the ball the whole time. You can see that, just getting the player out of the way well, but still managing to take control of the football.
Outstanding mark. 5-3, he's kicked. Roland Parr runs across. We'll have to wait on this one. He's got it. 6 goals, 3. He was a top effort, and he could have kicked more because he missed something. He probably should have or could have kicked 2014 to 11-8.
Yeah, some would say, Clint, that there's not many better one-on-one body-to-body players than Silvani. And I think he showed that against Ashley McIntosh in Perth a couple of weeks ago. He's a very strong body player. It's all about timing as well. Keeping your eye on the football at the same time, not infringing.
Curls, you got something to add?
Yeah, just this is important now for Carlton. also for David Park, and he'd be wanting his team to go right on with this. If they're going to contest the finals, he'd be looking for a killer attitude right now.
They lead by 60 points, so the possession's the name of the game and coming into the final 8, considering it's been so close. There's only 1 or 2 games in it, separating 13 sides. As Milhana gets the big punch now for Lloyd. Olorenshaw running the wrong way towards the boundary line. Now it's the right way on his right side, which is the left foot. But to no avail, Hickmott all alone in the square. Back to Hannah. His 3rd game for the season. Pierce down from half forward. Finding a lot of movement. The Blues, if they're going to have success in the finals, need him firing. He's had an excellent game, as Peter Landy mentioned. Now O'Sullivan running straight ahead of the ball. That's indicative of how the Blues are going. Mercury caught. Jugovic will be under pressure close to the boundary line. Needs to pick it up cleanly. Caught again by Ratton. Taken over the line, out of bounds. Good work from the Blues again. Just under 60,000 here have witnessed the Blues demolish the Dons, 58-5-1-2. So an excellent turn-up for this match of the day at the MCG. Perfect conditions, Kernahan in front, they had centre forward all day. Excellent job from the captain. Only 1 goal too, but he's had plenty of the ball. And just his captaincy and his leadership out on the ground. He's leading up the ground, providing options for the Carlton half-backs. He's had 11 kicks, 10 marks and 3 handballs. Captain sticks. Up in the ruck against Cransburg, now Hardwick. Round the corner, unlucky bounce from Murphy. Murphy's been good. Lucas. Dean, the veteran, straight at the ball. Koutafidis, again another player who's had a lot of the ball. Quiet second term, 20 possessions and 8 marks for the big Kouta.
10.5 minutes left in the match. John Elliott's a special guest on Talking Footy on Monday night. So with Carlton's win, you would suggest imminent. He might have plenty to say. There's a whistle. Essendon free. Mercury, the advantage rule played. Down towards right half forward. Player out of bounds was Olorenshaw. The ball was still in. He did well. Long shot at the goals. Won't quite make the distance. Hickmott. Ratton the target. The Rhino. Oh, Koutafidis. Bradley. 3 of Carlton stars combining well. Bradley at midfield. Probably the first man in the AFL. Kernahan. Jugovic made a mess of that. Diulio went back and won that one. Great kick for a goal. He's slipped. So Robbie Diulio kicks his first and Carlton's 21st. It's 21-14 to 11-8.
McKay for a rest. Anstey back on. Just again the ability to get the ball off half back and create something. 2 great runners within their side sharing the ball there. Bradley's kick looking for Kernahan, just a bit wide for him.
It wasn't about a kick though, was it?
Oh no, spot on. Just he tries to get around the corner. Good work by Cransburg to try and affect the smother. And then great control of the footy by Silvani.
Well, since half-time, Carlton have kicked 10 goals to Essendon's 3. That's the difference, that premiership 3rd quarter for the Blues. As Murphy gets an unkind bounce, Caracella takes his eye off the ball. Murphy butters up Hickmott, putting pressure on. The Dons amongst it now with Lucas. Corner of the square, the Lucas pass. Not so pinpoint, looking for Lloyd. Makes him bend his back. Mercury shoves it out to Doolan. Open goal for the Dons. Another one. They're 12th.
Doolan's first.
Up to 60 points the difference. It's a 10-goal ball game.
Well, they're sticking at it, the Dons, but really just lacking a lot of quality. Some of their better players have found it hard to find the footy today. Mercury just backing up there. Doolan, who spent time on the bench, just had 8-3, but a timely goal.
Ben Doolan kicks his first. Essendon won the match earlier in the year by 7 points when it was 16-10 to 15-9. But a real blowout this afternoon after that 3rd quarter from Carlton. Hogg's kick. And there's a whistle, might be downfield. Kernahan's got the free. I think there's a coming back.
It was as he kicked it, Pete, not after he kicked it.
Take it home.
Still the infringement on Hogg against Buick.
A bit of frustration there for Boris.
Hogg out to the left. Target was Koutafidis. Relman and Silvani. Silvani looks for Williams. Silvani over.
Yes, they've only kept the ball alive down there, people quite right, just keeping the ball forward. And Williams just waiting for the moment to offload that handball. As a colleague of ours would say, centimetre perfect. There it is. Didn't have to change stride, set him up beautifully.
They might have just sealed the votes for Williams and Ross. I think he's had an excellent game. He's 250 of them. And just the possessions he's had 25 of them, but it's how they've been executed. Been very, very special today as O'Donnell finding Carosello, who's under the hammer again. Now Pryor off halfback. His opponent in Koutafidis chips it up to Bradley. We mentioned he had a quiet second term, but he's bounced right back. Rattles.
24 possessions in total.
Chips it forward to Ratton, who's had another excellent game. The 95 best and fairest player. Turn of speed, a bit of a burst from Bradley. Beautiful pass to Murphy in the centre of the ground. The leading Silvani over his head. But a push in the back against Stephen Silvani will go to Sean Wellman. According to Grant Vernon, the umpire. Before acceptances, hand on the shoulder. And pretty plain. Wellman finding the Curie. The clock ticking down, just under 8 minutes remaining in the game. Hardwick looking for the Lucas lead, finds it. Lucas doesn't let him down and marks in front of Peter Dean.
The footer and kicks long up towards half forward. Simons couldn't complete it. Hickmott. O'Donnell under pressure winning handball. The Rhino still goes. O'Sullivan. Hardwick backs his judgment, pulls the ball back underneath him, but umpire David Howland says it will be a ball up. 22-14 to 12-8. Carlton leading all day. Hardwick comes up the worst for wear. Buick on the bench. And, just being looked at there by Physio. Hickmott over the top. The Rhino O'Sullivan. Good smother there by Simons on Ratton. Kick up towards half forward. Diulio tries a one-hander. Comes up with the footy. Shows it to his opponent, breaks away. Very strong, very confident. Back from Murphy. Hannah. Williams. He's done well today, Greg Williams. He's answered the challenge. Dean. Ratton. Anstey. Anstey at half forward. Too far out to score. Unselfish to Whitehead, who marks inside 50. Looking to get it moving quickly. Does so. Bradley into space. And marks confidently.
Yes, the Carlton players prepared us to run all day. He's been the advantage on the overlap, running to assist, just doing the hard things. As Pearce is going to come off for a breather. Camporelli will come off. Darren Buick's gone off for Essendon. And Copperton Collins is back on. Just far too many options all around the ground again.
And somebody said to me before the match, who's going to kick Carlton's goals? I'm not looking at you, Russell. It wasn't you.
I said Silvani will kick 6.
It was down in the media room. We were having a bit of a discussion.
Oh, I saw them a couple of weeks ago, Pete, ordinary against the Bulldogs.
Bradley kicks a goal and gets it. He's got 3. The percentage is going to be important in this most even of seasons. Carlton's before today was 93.9. So they had a pretty fair deficit to make up. Well, they're doing it well today. Neil Curley with some injury news.
Yeah, young Darren Buick, he's twisted his knee in the first quarter. There's nothing serious according to the doctor. They're just taking him off as a precautionary. And of course, you know, with the situation in this game now, David Parker will be very, very pleased with the way his players are finishing off.
You're certainly right, Curl. They pumped the Dons by 72 points, the Carlton side. Porter again. For the running Williams, he just seems to know where the ball is all the time. Lack of pace, but just gets where the ball is. Anstey to O'Sullivan. Now to Bradley. Looking for his 4th. Craig Bradley misses. Much to his disappointment.
It's not a bad game when he finishes up at the moment. 28 possessions, only having had perhaps about 6 or 7 halfway through the second quarter. So he's really got himself back into the game.
That's a sign of a footballer's character, how he reacts when he's getting licked.
Well, I think it speaks volumes for his fitness too, doesn't it? As I said, he's one of the fittest guys playing the game.
Cransberg, the kick out. Looking for Wellman. Good punch from Camporelli. Carlton not letting Essendon get any easy possessions or goals. Murphy in front of Cockatoo Collins, who's been very disappointing. Cockatoo Collins has spent a bit of time in defence, also up forward. But only for 2 possessions, 1 kick, 1 handball. Camporelli has been quiet. Hasn't had many opportunities.
But coming back from glandular fever, it's going to be a slow process.
Certainly. His kick, looking for Silvani. 2 against 1. Great body work. But the mark is not paid as Williams puts pressure on Blundfield. Cockatoo Collins takes a mark. Left half back for the Dons. The Carlton supporters not happy.
And the hyphen at left half back. Probably does his best work on the forward line. Kernahan. It's been vintage Kernahan today. And no doubt all the Carlton players have lifted for Williams' big milestone, his 250th. Murphy, Silvani, couldn't take that one. Wellman to Pryor. One of Essendon's best, if not the best, in the Essendon jumper today. I guess the hand pass always sums up the situation. Simon's missed it. Sullivan takes advantage. Down to Koulibaly in the forward pocket. Koulibaly, as they share it around again, could have been Whitehead or Hickman. He's kicked 3, Adrian Whitehead today. Very dangerous in the forward pocket. Took a great hand pass from Kernahan earlier in this final quarter on the run, which resulted in his 3rd goal. Distance may test him. It may, but it won't. He's got 4.
What a great goal for Little Guy.
Yeah, 4 second-half goals during each of these last 2 quarters. Not much of the footy, but by gee, he's made it effective, hasn't he? The handball here for Pryor, just the fumble by Simons. And of course, because there's a fumble, the kick finishes back with Pryor's man, which is Koulibaly. Not through Pryor's fault, he was making the play. Teammate mishandles the ball and the goal results.
The determination of O'Sullivan to chase out of the forward line was indicative of how the Carlton side have been playing all day. 79 points. 3 minutes remaining in the game. Bit of a humiliation now for the Dons as O'Connor tries to barge his way through over the top of 2 opponents in Diulio and Hickmott. And the big rhino for the Dons throwing his weight around.
You wouldn't know it was the same Carlton side, which that went down to Melbourne last week.
Very strange.
Well, our floor manager's been using his abacus and he reckons their percentage can't go up about 6%.
That's excellent stuff for the Carlton supporters, especially when it comes down to the wire, which it may just do as Williams gets another possession off to O'Sullivan. Unlucky bounce for Camporelli. Took his eye off the ball. O'Sullivan, second effort. Now to Peter Dean off half-back. Dean's been a champion, a veteran of 229 games for the Carlton side. Koulibaly's there, runs his opponent. Drives it into the goal square. Oh, a great goal!
Just call a team of speed down to this stage of the game. Pull that ball, control, charge through, and then kick the goal at the same time. That was brilliant. Good work by Sullivan to turn the wing to get the ball across in the first place to Peter Dean. And then watch Koulibaly come through here. Just that turn of speed. Hartman's no slouch. He kicked the goal from outside 50.
That's great.
That's brilliant.
That is great. He's back, he says.
I think he is. I think you're right.
Football at its purest.
Koulibaly's first goal and a quality goal. Carlton's 8th of the final quarter. A big percentage booster for the Blues. And who would have thought it after probably their worst performance of the year last week, and that's taking nothing away from Melbourne. But they've certainly bounced back. I'm sure David Parkin's had a few words to say during the week. Motivation has returned. Hardwick tackled by Porter.
23 knockouts, Peter, for Porter. 9 possessions, 3 marks, 23 hitouts for a first game, and that is excellent stuff.
So John Elliott on Talking Footy on Monday night.
We may get a smile out of him, Pete.
I'll be talking plenty. And well worth listening to. He always is, John Elliott. Ratton and Oliver Renshaw. 4 hands on the footy. The umpire will ball it up. So under 2 minutes remaining in this match. It's been a bit of a mismatch since half-time, and that's been disappointing. Not if you're a Carlton supporter, but we did expect it to be close. Most Essendon Carlton matches have been in recent times. Williams. Quality performance from him. The Julio missed it. Opens it up for the Bombers. Flipped up to Simons. Lloyd nearly, and Hull content to run it over the line for a rush behind to Essendon. Well, he'd be pretty happy today, Justin. Of course, he played with both sides. His first game in retirement. Hasn't played a senior game this year. Well, I suppose we should use the past tense now. Didn't play a senior game this year. He's now retired. Dean in the back pocket, wearing more bandages than Farnap at his prime. And Will Hanna sharing it around. Not a great kick by Hanna. Let's see if the Blues can come out of that.
The Dons may try and set something up through Lucas. Has a ping at the big ones. Consolation goal for Scotty Lucas. His second and Essendon's 13th. Long time between drinks, right?
Yeah, consolation goal is probably a fair call, Russell, but they, as you mentioned, they've got a tough game coming up against Port. The number of players they do have out. Denham's worked very, very hard, given that Williams has had such an influence on the game, but he never gives up trying. Sean Denham, he's had a bit of it himself. He's had it 24 times. It's just very hard to curb the influence of the other players around.
The clock ticks down to the final siren. And it's a big turnaround for Carlton. Hickmoth to Ratton to Koutoufides, and make no mistake, he's back. O'Connor. That's probably the biggest plus for Carlton today. Anstey, slug as he attempted to hand pass, pinched by Camporelli, back to Ratton, on to Koutoufides. What sort of a hand pass was that? Underground from Ratton, comes to half forward. Masiti on a Pryor. There's the siren. Huge victory for Carlton. And the Blues are back in 1997. 25-15, 165, annihilating Essendon, 13-9, 87.
Well, it certainly was that an absolute annihilation, and perhaps people would have picked up. I think you mentioned in the course of this quarter, if you had have seen Carlton last week against Melbourne, you certainly would have seen them playing this well. And Essendon had really now struggled against Sydney. They may have had the opportunity to step up today to be. I've said it a few times, right across the lines for Carlton. They had contributors, 11 goal scorers. People through the midfield getting plenty of the football. The likes of Williams and Bradley Ratton. Cooter had taken 11 marks. Murphy's been great. And young Mark Porter in his first game, just outstanding in the midfield, giving them first use and being on the front of Sutherland. As we said, Redfield's been chatted off the ground, justifiably so. 250 games. Finished up with 26 possessions, set up a few goals.
Let's go down to now Curly. He's got Cooter with him.
Yeah, thanks very much. Well, Phil, you blokes were very pumped up before the game, weren't you?
Yeah, it's a special game for us today. Thursday playing his 250th. So, yeah, he's been great for the club. So we wanted to go out there and do it for him.
And you found a bit of run though, with Williams creating the movement, Kernan in form, Silvani up there in your defence playing well. It was just a full-line conclusion.
Yeah, everyone's playing great now. I think we've come back to the training a lot better now. Everyone seems to just be running off their legs now, so it's critical to get every game now on into the final. So hopefully it all goes well.
Well played, good luck.
Thanks, Carlos. And the Blues certainly firing up for Diesel's 250th game. And they won it in the end by 78 points.
It's a Mark Porter getting a tip from Stephen Kernan and the captain.
It was a fine debut. He really did well. Let's go back to Carlos. He's got David Parker.
David, pretty good team effort.
Well, after it's been a pretty sorrowful couple of weeks, Curls, it's been very pleasing to see the team. We haven't probably played 4 quarters of footy like that for a long, long time, and it's just good to see the players in the contest and wanting to hunt it up. And there's a bit of passion, I suppose, of the Madden thing today, and Greg's 250th and young Porter's first game. So all round, it's probably a good day for the club, because we've been fairly low, I have to say, in the last month. We just haven't travelled very well, and we haven't really competed very well. So if you get a bit of contest mode and you know there's a bit of passion in the contest, then you've always got a chance.
Well done, congratulations.
David Parker and Carlton winning the Madden Cup. We'll take a break from the MCG back in a moment.